Have you ever wished you could remain calm, unshaken, even when life throws chaos your way? Imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, horns blaring around you, or you're walking into a tense meeting with your boss, heart pounding. Maybe you're facing something even harder, a personal crisis that threatens to pull you apart. And yet in the middle of it all, you feel grounded, peaceful, in control. That isn't fantasy. That's the quiet power of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has been guiding people for centuries toward inner clarity, emotional resilience, and a more fulfilling life. At its core, Stoicism teaches one profound truth. The only things we truly control are our own thoughts and actions. Everything else, the weather, the economy, the opinions of others, the unexpected twists of fate, is outside our grasp. And the more we resist this truth, the more we suffer. But when we accept it, we free ourselves. We release the anxiety, the frustration, the endless battles we wage with what we simply cannot change. And we begin to redirect that energy inward, toward mastering ourselves, our character, our choices, our response to life. These are the seeds of lasting peace. So what does it really mean to live like a Stoic in today's noisy, unpredictable world? In this video, we'll walk with you through 10 powerful Stoic lessons, each one a stepping stone toward emotional mastery and unwavering calm. These aren't just ancient ideas preserved in dusty books. They're living truths, tools you can use right now, in this moment, to build a life of clarity, purpose, and grounded strength. So take a breath. Let go of what you can't control, and join us on this journey into the wisdom of the Stoics. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Embrace what you can control. It all begins with a timeless insight from the Stoic sage Epictetus, a teaching known as the dichotomy of control. This principle is simple yet life-changing. There are two types of things in this world, those within our control and those beyond it. It's a truth that can act as an anchor in the stormiest moments of life. Imagine standing in the middle of uncertainty, yet feeling steady, because your focus is rooted not in what's happening around you, but in how you respond to it. Epictetus reminds us that our thoughts, our actions, our intentions, these belong to us. These are ours to shape, refine, and master. When we pour our energy into what we can influence, our discipline, our integrity, our mindset, we begin to live with purpose. We step into a kind of quiet power that doesn't depend on circumstances. It comes from within. Think of an archer. He trains with care, draws the bow with precision, and releases with full presence. But once the arrow is in flight, the wind may shift, the target may move. The outcome, despite his effort, is uncertain, and that's okay, because he finds peace in the process, not the prize. This is the Stoic way. Do your best. Let go of the rest. It's not apathy, it's wisdom. It's understanding that surrendering what you cannot command isn't weakness, it's strength. It's emotional sovereignty. By recognizing what belongs to us and releasing what doesn't, we reclaim control of our inner world. We stop chasing peace in the uncontrollable and start building it inside ourselves. And that's where serenity lives, not in everything going right, but in knowing that no matter what happens, you've done your part, with courage and clarity. That's the beginning of Stoic mastery. And now, we move to lesson 2. So we've begun this journey by embracing what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and our mindset. But what about the things we can't change? The unexpected illnesses, the betrayals, the losses, the storms that arrive without warning. This leads us to lesson 2, the power of acceptance. Among the towering figures of Stoic philosophy, one stands both as a leader of an empire and a student of the soul, Marcus Aurelius. Though he ruled as emperor of Rome, he never let power cloud his pursuit of wisdom. His timeless reflections, penned quietly in his journal meditations, still speak to us today, echoing across the centuries with calm clarity. At the heart of Marcus Aurelius's teachings lies a profound truth. Life is not meant to be controlled. It is meant to be accepted. He reminds us that existence is a tapestry woven with both triumph and tribulation, an unpredictable rhythm of gain and loss, joy and sorrow, calm and chaos. Just like the ocean tide, life moves in waves, sometimes gently lapping at our feet, other times crashing over us without warning. We can't stop the tide, but we can learn to stand with strength, to let the water pass through us rather than knock us down. This, Marcus says, is the virtue of acceptance. In the Stoic sense, to accept is not to give up. It is not passivity or defeat. It is the courageous act of acknowledging that some events are simply beyond our reach. It is the letting go of our tight grip on how things should be and learning instead to move with how things are. When we resist life's flow, when we cling desperately to expectations or fight against fate, we suffer. Imagine a ship battling against the current with every ounce of strength, only to find itself more lost, more damaged. Now imagine instead a ship that sets sail with grace, adjusting its sails as the winds change, trusting the journey even without knowing the exact destination. That is the Stoic model of acceptance. Marcus Aurelius invites us to live like this, not trying to control the wind, but learning to steer ourselves through it, not panicking when the sky darkens, but staying calm because we've accepted that storms are part of the voyage. He writes, "To resist what happens is to be at odds with the very nature of the world, but to accept it is to align with the universe itself." This perspective transforms suffering. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we begin to ask, "How can I move through this with grace?" Acceptance allows us to release the mental chains of attachment to outcomes. It helps us live more freely, more lightly, because we are no longer burdened by what we cannot command. Whether life offers us a moment of sweetness or strikes with difficulty, Stoicism urges us to respond the same way, with presence, with patience, with peace. In this light, acceptance becomes a powerful form of inner strength. It teaches us that serenity isn't found in everything going our way. It's found in how we carry ourselves when it doesn't. It becomes the very soil from which resilience grows. So when life shifts, as it always does, remember Marcus Aurelius. Remember that accepting the ever-changing rhythm of existence is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is the beginning of deep and lasting peace. Now we move forward, and with Seneca as our guide, we explore the next essential lesson on the path to Stoic calm. Lesson 3. Practice mindfulness. From Marcus Aurelius's wisdom on acceptance, we now move deeper into the heart of Stoic calm, into a practice that anchors us in the here and now. For the Stoics, mindfulness isn't just a modern wellness trend or a fleeting escape. As taught by the venerable Seneca, mindfulness is a way of life. It is not confined to moments of grandeur or enlightenment. It doesn't require mountaintop solitude or breathtaking sunsets. Instead, it reveals itself in the most ordinary acts, sipping your morning tea, watching the wind stir the leaves, listening deeply to a friend's voice. Mindfulness in the Stoic tradition is a discipline of attention. It calls us to witness the full spectrum of life's tapestry, not only the bold colors of celebration, but also the subtle threads of quiet routine. It invites us to be fully present in both the profound and the mundane. And why is this important? Because when we are grounded in the present, we are liberated from two powerful sources of inner turmoil: regret over the past and anxiety about the future. Stoic mindfulness is a tool of freedom. It helps us step away from the haunting echo of what if and the consuming fear of what's next. It places our feet firmly in the now, the only time we truly have. In practicing this, we create space, a sanctuary not built of stone or silence, but of clarity. We begin to truly notice the inhale and exhale of each breath, the rhythm of our heartbeat, the feeling of sunlight on our skin. We find peace, not because the world stops, but because our awareness sharpens. We begin to see and feel life more fully. This art of presence nurtures inner tranquility. It strengthens our composure, even as the outside world moves in chaos. It allows us to respond, not react, to observe, not absorb. And so, Seneca reminds us, the present is the only thing that truly belongs to us. To ignore it is to miss the very essence of living. Now, as we carry this mindful awareness forward, we step into one of the most powerful lessons of all. Lesson 4. Cultivate resilience. In the vast landscape of Stoic wisdom, resilience echoes like a steady drumbeat, strong, unwavering, persistent. And leading this anthem of strength is Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher who taught that adversity is not our enemy, but our greatest teacher. To Epictetus, hardship is not a punishment to endure. It is a tool, a chisel, shaping the marble of our character. Stoicism teaches that adversity is not the exception to life. It is the rule. It is woven into the fabric of our existence, not to break us, but to build us. So how do Stoics face difficulty? Not with dread, not with self-pity, but with presence, with purpose, with power. They do not see pain as a curse, but as an opportunity. Every challenge is a fire that tempers their resolve, every setback a test of their discipline. Epictetus urges us to stand like an oak, firm, rooted, unyielding, no matter how fierce the storm. He teaches that it is not the event itself that disturbs us, but our judgment of the event. And that truth is freeing. We cannot always choose what happens, but we can always choose how we respond. That is the Stoic's secret weapon, not to avoid hardship, but to become better through it. To walk the path of resilience is to train our inner selves like a warrior trains their body, through resistance, through strain, through trial. This perspective transforms suffering. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we ask, "What is this shaping in me?" We begin to see that hardship is not a wall but a door. And when we pass through it with integrity, we emerge stronger, more grounded, more calm, more unshakable. In the eyes of a Stoic, adversity is not a punishment. It is a mirror revealing who we truly are. And it is a forge crafting who we are meant to become. So we do not cower before the storms. We greet them with open eyes and steady breath. Because in those storms, we find the strength we never knew we had. From Epictetus's reflections on resilience, we're led into another essential truth of Stoicism, one that empowers us at the very center of our being. Lesson 5. Choose your response. While life may unfold in ways we never expected, while the winds of fortune change without warning, and events beyond our control crash into our world, there is something that remains forever ours, our response. This is the teaching of Epictetus, the Stoic sage whose wisdom echoes through time like a steady drumbeat of inner truth. He reminds us again and again that though the outer world may remain wild and unpredictable, the helm of our inner life is firmly in our hands. In the Stoic view, this is not a small insight. It is foundational. It is the lighthouse that guides us through every storm, every disappointment, every unforeseen twist of fate. We may not choose what happens, but we can choose how we interpret it. We can choose how we carry it, and we can choose who we become because of it. This is the true essence of Stoic wisdom. Within the quiet walls of Stoic philosophy, where calm and clarity are cultivated like a garden, control begins from within. It is not the world outside that dictates our peace. It is the quality of our thoughts, the discipline of our judgment, and the choices we make in the face of life's challenges. And so, Epictetus urges us to examine our reactions with care. Especially when we are tested, when emotions rise, when injustice wounds, when things fall apart, he asks us, what are you choosing in this moment? Are we reacting from impulse or responding with wisdom? Are we becoming slaves to emotion or masters of our mind? Here in this space between stimulus and response lies a sacred power, the power of choice. The Stoic does not deny anger, fear, or sadness, but they do not hand over the reins of their life to those emotions either. Instead, they pause, they reflect. And they choose a path that aligns with their values, with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, the four cardinal virtues of Stoicism. Every response becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of our character. To respond wisely is to craft a masterpiece of integrity, and so Stoicism becomes a shield, not one made of iron, but of intentional living. By choosing how we respond, we preserve something priceless, our inner peace, untouched by external chaos. Even in moments of great difficulty, the Stoic stands steady, not because they are numb, but because they are clear. They understand that true strength lies not in domination, but in self-mastery. This conscious choice to align our responses with reason and virtue is how we navigate the ever-shifting corridors of life. It is not easy. It requires vigilance, humility, and discipline. But in that effort, we discover a stillness that no storm can shake, and from that stillness, we continue to build. We move forward, stronger, clearer, and more at peace. Now, as we follow this path of self-mastery, we encounter another essential lesson in the Stoic tradition, this time from Seneca, the philosopher of balance and wisdom. Lesson 6. Limit excessive desires. Having discovered the strength of conscious choice, we now arrive at another cornerstone of Stoic wisdom, one that speaks not just to the mind, but to the desires of the heart. In a world that constantly whispers more, the Stoics dared to ask, what if less is more than enough? Seneca, the Roman philosopher known for his elegant writings on virtue and simplicity, offers us this crucial teaching. To pursue peace, we must temper our desires, because it is not the abundance of things, but the moderation of longing that nurtures lasting contentment. He invites us to see desire for what it truly is, a restless energy that, if left unchecked, leads us into turbulence. Like a ship caught in a storm, we are tossed from wave to wave, chasing status, wealth, possessions, never anchored, never satisfied. But when we choose moderation, we steady the rudder. We begin to navigate life with intention, not impulse. The Stoic doesn't reject comfort or beauty. They simply don't let craving become the master of their peace. Seneca teaches us that true wealth lies not in having more, but in needing less. When we simplify our wants, we rediscover joy in small things. A warm sunrise, an honest conversation, a meal shared with someone we love. By desiring only what is necessary for a life of goodness and virtue, we free ourselves. We are no longer prisoners of insatiable wants. We become guardians of a deeper calm, and within that calm we uncover treasures that no market can sell and no status can buy: gratitude, clarity, and self-respect. So the next time you feel the tug of envy or the thirst for more, pause. Ask yourself, is this desire leading me to peace or pulling me away from it? This is the power of Stoic simplicity. It's not about denial. It's about choosing depth over excess, choosing to cultivate the kind of life that no circumstance can shake. And now, as we simplify our wants, we uncover something deeper, something the Stoics held above all else: virtue. Lesson 7. Be virtuous. At the heart of Stoicism, beneath every lesson, every practice, is one enduring principle: live with virtue. It is the very soul of this ancient philosophy, nurtured by sages like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. Virtue, in the Stoic tradition, is not a lofty ideal. It is the daily discipline of aligning thought with action, values with behavior, and it takes shape in 4 cardinal forms: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These aren't abstract words. They are the living compass that guides a Stoic through life's rough seas. Let's begin with wisdom, the first and most foundational. Wisdom calls us to seek truth, to understand the nature of reality, and to view the world with clarity, not illusion. It helps us distinguish what matters from what merely distracts. Through wisdom, we learn to think deeply, act deliberately, and judge fairly. Then comes courage, not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. It is the strength to do what's right, even when it's hard, to stand firm in your values, even when the world demands compromise. Seneca reminds us that courage is forged not in comfort, but in adversity. It is the sentinel that guards our inner fortress. Next is justice, the virtue that expands our focus beyond the self. It asks us to act with fairness, to honor truth, and to protect the dignity of others. The Stoics believed that a life well lived is one lived for the common good, where decisions are not made from ego but from equity. Finally, we arrive at temperance, the practice of balance. It's the wisdom to know when to act, when to speak, when to wait. It teaches us to enjoy without overindulging, to succeed without arrogance, and to endure without bitterness. Temperance brings harmony to our habits and serenity to our soul. Together, these 4 virtues form the foundation of a meaningful life. They are not rules imposed from outside, but inner commitments we make to ourselves. And when we live by them, we walk through life not as victims of fate, but as authors of character. After reflecting on the 4 Stoic virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we begin to see how they form the very framework of a life lived in harmony with nature and with ourselves. Temperance, the final of the 4, is not just about moderation in what we consume or desire. It is a deeper discipline, the restraint of impulse, the ability to say no, the clarity to choose enough over excess. Seneca, ever the thoughtful guide, teaches that in simplifying our desires, we free our hearts from the chaos of constant craving. He writes that true peace is not found in satisfying every want, but in wanting less, in seeking only what is essential for a life rooted in virtue. When we temper our desires, we're no longer at the mercy of external conditions. We stop chasing the next thing, the next title, the next possession. And in that stillness, we uncover a deeper kind of wealth, the wellspring of inner calm. Regardless of what changes outside us, this inner stillness remains. It's not dictated by success or loss, praise or criticism, but by the quiet confidence that we are living rightly. And when all 4 virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, become part of our daily rhythm, they do more than guide us, they shape us. They become the compass that helps us navigate every high and low with dignity, grace, and peace. In the great mosaic of Stoicism, these virtues are not just values. They are living colors, vibrant and grounding, painting the image of a life that flows with the eternal rhythm of the cosmos. And from that image, we step into the next lesson, a powerful truth whispered by Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor. Lesson 8. Understand the transitory nature of life. In his personal reflections captured in Meditations, Marcus Aurelius returns again and again to one theme. All things pass. Life is not static. It is a river, always flowing, always changing. And to try to stop its current is to drown in frustration. Marcus teaches that this truth should not lead to despair, but to freedom. He writes, not as a ruler clinging to power, but as a student of existence, reminding us that everything we encounter, joy and sorrow, gain and loss, is temporary. Moments arrive, shimmer like stars in the night, and then fade. And that's not a tragedy. That's the rhythm of life itself. Through this lens, Stoicism invites us to see impermanence not as a threat, but as a gift. Why? Because when we truly understand that nothing lasts forever, we stop clinging. We begin to appreciate what we have, not in fear of losing it, but in reverence for its presence. We savor laughter while it lasts. We hold our loved ones a little closer. We release resentment a little sooner. And we prepare our hearts to let go, gently, when the time comes. Marcus reminds us, even our sorrows are not permanent. The pain you feel now will soften. The storm will pass. The night will end, and this insight becomes a source of strength. When we stop demanding that things stay the same, we begin to flow with life, not against it. We unburden ourselves from the heavy chains of attachment, whether to success, possessions, people, or identity. We no longer measure our peace by how tightly we can hold on, but by how gracefully we can let go. This is the heart of the 8th Stoic lesson. To understand the fleeting nature of life is to unlock a profound inner tranquility, a peace that endures even as the world around us changes. It allows us to stand calmly in the center of change, like a mountain unmoved by passing clouds. In accepting impermanence, we reclaim our energy. We rise above the fear of loss. We grow in clarity and composure because we know what comes will go. But who we are, what we choose, how we respond, and how we live, that endures. From Marcus Aurelius's Reflections on Impermanence, we are reminded of a powerful truth. Even as life changes, even as things come and go, our peace can remain, constant and enduring, like stars that continue to shimmer behind passing clouds. This is not denial, it is clarity. Marcus invites us to bask in this understanding, to savor each fleeting moment, knowing it will not last, but still choosing to embrace it fully without fear or clinging. And in this spirit of presence, we uncover another timeless Stoic lesson. Lesson 9. The value of gratitude. Among the many teachings in the tapestry of Stoic philosophy, few shine as brightly and as gently as this one. Gratitude, a seemingly simple idea, becomes, in the hands of Seneca, a profound instrument of inner peace. Gratitude, he teaches, is not just for good times. It's not a response to abundance or something reserved for moments when everything is going well. Instead, gratitude is a lens, a way of seeing the world, a way of looking at life's gifts and its struggles and saying, this too is part of my journey. This too I can honor. In his essays, Seneca reminds us that contentment does not come from possessing more, but from perceiving more clearly, noticing what we already have, appreciating what might otherwise go unseen. A warm conversation, the ability to breathe, the chance to begin again. This practice helps us shift our attention from what is missing to what is present, from longing to thankfulness. And in that shift, we find serenity. Even in difficulty, even in times when life feels harsh or unfair, gratitude becomes a quiet, unwavering companion. It says, yes, this moment is hard, but there is still something here to be thankful for. A lesson learned, a deeper resilience discovered, a reminder of what truly matters. Seneca encourages us to recognize that gratitude is not dependent on material wealth, external status, or ideal circumstances. Instead, it is found in how we choose to see. It is the act of recognizing that even in adversity there are gifts, hidden, subtle, often wrapped in discomfort, but still gifts. When we cultivate this mindset, we begin to see beauty in the ordinary. We find peace in simplicity. We begin to cherish the experience of life, not as something to conquer, but as something to receive with open hands. Gratitude, in this Stoic view, is more than emotion. It is a discipline. It is a daily turning of the heart toward appreciation. And when practiced sincerely, it becomes an elixir, transforming bitterness into softness, anxiety into acceptance, and sorrow into understanding. In moments of challenge, a grateful heart does not break. It bends, it breathes, it grows stronger. It sees the lessons beneath the pain, the light behind the cloud. As Seneca would remind us, the Stoic spirit is not extinguished by hardship. It is nourished by it, because the Stoic knows that even difficulty can be a teacher, and that within every moment, even the trying ones, there are blessings waiting to be noticed. So we give thanks, not just when life is bright, but also when it is dim. We practice gratitude not because everything is perfect, but because even in imperfection, life is still a gift. With every breath, every heartbeat, every fleeting second, we are offered another chance to notice, to appreciate, to awaken. Seneca's legacy reminds us, gratitude is not a passive feeling, it is an active embrace of life. And when we live with it, we are no longer victims of fate but participants in wonder. From the gentle wisdom of Seneca, we've seen how gratitude transforms our inner world, how it allows us to savor life not in spite of its difficulties, but because of them, to notice what we have, to celebrate what is, and to find calm even when the storm is raging outside. It's within this luminous state of awareness that we begin to cultivate not just fleeting happiness, but a deep and lasting tranquility. And now we arrive at the final lesson, a lesson that ties them all together with purpose and possibility. Lesson 10, keep learning and growing. In the great tapestry of Stoic thought, woven from threads of reason, resilience, and temperance, there is one radiant truth that continues to shine. The journey of self-improvement never ends. Epictetus, one of the brightest lights of Stoicism, held this belief with unwavering conviction. For him, the path to inner peace was not a one-time choice, but a lifelong commitment, a daily walk toward wisdom. He reminds us that we are not fixed, we are not finished. We are not confined to the people we were yesterday. Instead, we are vessels of potential, endlessly capable of change, refinement, and renewal. The Stoics did not aim for perfection. They aimed for progress. Even the smallest step toward greater clarity, kindness, or control was a victory worth honoring. In this lesson, we are called to view life as a perpetual voyage. There is no final arrival point, no moment when we've made it. There is only the steady, humble pursuit of better understanding, of deeper truth, richer character, and a more composed response to the unpredictable nature of existence. Epictetus likened this commitment to the pursuit of a rare and precious gem, one that guides us like a compass when everything around us feels uncertain or overwhelming. And indeed, wisdom becomes that compass, the inner light that helps us walk through the labyrinth of life with clarity and calm. The journey of growth is not always easy. It is often shaped by trials, setbacks, and discomfort. But Stoicism teaches us to welcome these moments, not as punishments but as opportunities, Obstacles become stepping stones, failures become feedback, and each challenge, rather than weakening us, helps to forge the quiet strength of our inner world. This commitment to lifelong learning is the true lighthouse in the storm. It is what allows us to remain upright when the winds howl. It is what keeps us curious, humble, and awake to our own transformation. In the teachings of Epictetus, we hear a call, a quiet but persistent invitation. Keep going, keep growing, never stop becoming. Because the more we learn, the more deeply we understand ourselves. And the more we understand ourselves, the more gracefully we respond to life's complexity. This final lesson reminds us that inner calm is not a destination. It is a living process, a reflection of our ongoing relationship with wisdom, awareness, and self-mastery. So now, as we bring this journey to a close, take a moment to breathe, to reflect, to remember that all the lessons you've just explored, the 10 pillars of Stoic calm, are not ancient artifacts. They are living practices, and they are now yours to carry. You don't need perfect conditions to find peace. You don't need to control the world to be calm. You simply need to return again and again to these truths. Accept what you cannot control. Focus on your inner world. Grow with each challenge, and walk gently, with wisdom, through the storm. And if this journey has resonated with you, if even one of these lessons has sparked something real in your heart, we warmly invite you to subscribe to our channel, Stoic Havenway. Here we don't chase the noise of the world. We listen to the quiet wisdom within. We honor the stillness, the strength, and the timeless truths that guide us through. Thank you for walking this path with us. Thank you for showing up, not just to this video, but to yourself. Let this not be the end, but a beginning, a new chapter in your own Stoic journey. With deep gratitude, the Stoic Havenway team.